Hey guys, compliments of the season and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tamara and I am back with another exciting video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how I made this turmeric mild exfoliating bars using goat milk and African black soap base. As you guys already know, turmeric provides glow and luster to the skin and it can help to revive your skin by bringing out its natural glow. Well, if you guys are interested in seeing how I made these mild exfoliating bars, then keep on watching. First, I am going to start off by showing you guys all the items I'll be using. I am going to be using a mix of 2 melt and pour soap base, the African black soap base and a goat milk soap base. This soap base is by Stevenson and I got them from Amazon. The next thing I'll be using is turmeric powder. I am also going to be using organic honey. I'll be using oatmeal as my mild exfoliant, 99.9 rubbing alcohol, peppermint fragrance. I'll also be using a blend of different essential oils. I'll be using a kitchen scale to measure out the soap base, a microwavable jar, measuring spoons and spoon for mixing. I am also going to be using a chopping board and a knife. And last but not the least, I'll be using a silicone soap mold. There are different types, shapes and designs of silicone soap molds that you can choose from, and you can get them on Amazon or you can get them on eBay. But if you don't have one or you don't want to buy one, I'll also show you how to use a plastic container as your mold. Your plastic container doesn't necessarily have to have a lid. Mine just happens to come with a lid. Before I proceed to start making the soap, I am just wiping down my working surface with rubbing alcohol just to make sure that it is disinfected and good to go. First, I am cutting off about 40 grams of the goat milk soap base. Now I am chopping the soap base into tiny chunks and or tiny bits. After that, I'll place the tiny bits of soap into the microwavable jar and place the jar in the microwave to melt for 30 seconds. If you don't have a microwave or you don't want to use the microwave, you can use the double boiler method. That is, you can place the soap base, the chopped soap base into a bowl and place the bowl on top of a pot of boiling water, and the heat from the boiling water will help to melt the soap base. To the melted base, I am adding 1 teaspoon of honey, about half a teaspoon of peppermint fragrance, one tablespoon of oatmeal, and about 4 to 5 drops of essential oil. You can decide which essential oils you want to use. I am using eucalyptus essential oil. And after that, I am going to spray the silicone mold with rubbing alcohol and pour the base into the mold. After pouring the soap base into the silicone mold, you would notice that there are tiny air bubbles sitting on the surface of the soap, which we don't want, so you have to spray tiny bits of the rubbing alcohol on the surface of the base to get rid of the air bubbles. I am going to set this aside to cool down in the fridge for about 15 minutes, and if you don't have a fridge, you could just leave the soap base or the mold, just keep it aside and allow it to cool down for about 30 minutes. Again, I am cutting out 20 grams of the goat milk soap base, and I am going to repeat the same steps of chopping into tiny bits and putting into the microwave to melt for 30 seconds. Once the base is melted, I am adding about half a tablespoon, that is about 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. About half teaspoon of peppermint fragrance, and about 4 to 5 drops of peppermint essential oil. Like I said before, you don't have to use the same fragrance and essential oils that I'm using. You can use something else for your own soap. I am spraying a little bit of the rubbing alcohol again on the solidified base, then pouring the melted base on top of that, and I am going to place that back in the fridge for about 15 minutes. Again, I am cutting out another 20 grams of the African black soap. To the melted base, I am adding 1 teaspoon of honey, about half a teaspoon of fragrance, and about 4 to 5 drops of essential oil. I am going ahead to pour the melted black soap base on top of the solidified soap and put it back in the fridge for another 30 minutes. So basically guys, if you don't want to do the stacked layers method that I just showed you, basically because you're tired or you're a busy person or you just can't be bothered, don't worry, I've got another method to show you. All you need to do is just mix them all together like I'm about to show you. So I am cutting about 30 grams each of the goat milk base and the African black soap base. I am chopping them into smaller bits and melting them together in the microwave for about 30 seconds. After that, I am adding 1 teaspoon of honey, and this time around I am going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric to the melted base, about 1.5 teaspoon of fragrance, and I am going to add a few drops of these 3 different essential oils. This time, instead of mixing in the oats, I am going to lay down about 1 teaspoon of oatmeal on the silicone mold first, then pouring in the melted soap base. The reason I did this is because I wanted the bulk of the oatmeal to be concentrated at the base of the soap. I am going to leave that in the fridge to cool down and solidify for about 30 minutes. You can leave it for longer if you want. I can't get you out of my mind. It's like I feel it for the first time. Been thinking about you all night. I've been searching for this all. Now, if you don't have a silicone soap mold, or you don't want to buy one, or you can't get access to one, then don't worry, you can use a plastic food container as your mold. I am just repeating the same thing that I did for the stacked layer method, only this time I am using a plastic food container instead of a silicone mold. So guys, once you're done pouring into the molds, you can leave it in the fridge for a few hours, and if you don't have a fridge, you can leave it for one full day just to make sure that the soap solidifies nicely before taking them out of the mold. So guys, these have been in the fridge for a few hours now, and it is time to take them out. With the silicone mold, it is very easy to pop out the soap, but with a plastic container, it took me a while to pop it out. I guess it was because the container I was using was very rigid. So this should be a lesson for all of us to use a less rigid container if you ain't using silicone mold. After the struggle, guys, the soap eventually popped out of the container, and it is gorgeous, guys. So these are the different ways to make your turmeric exfoliating bars using goat milk and African black soap base. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. If you liked this video, don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up, share this video, and use the comment section below. All the items that I used in this video will be listed in the description box below. Do not also forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. I'll see you guys in my next video, and I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year ahead. Bye.